The first mayor of Chinese American descent, Mayor Lee has long been a strong supporter of activities that promote appreciation and diverse cultural heritage of Asian Pacific Americans. In fact, Mayor Lee has attended many stamp ceremonies in the past and has participated in last year's Year of the Horse stamp dedication. We're very happy Mayor is here with us again today, so please join me in welcoming Mayor Ed Lee.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to join all of you again, and I know Anita and I are excited to be here on the launch of the 8th stamp of the lunar calendar of the Year of the Ram, and we're excited to join our historic organization of Chinese Americans, our family associations through the Consolidated Benevolent Association. You know, President Ma's here, Eddir from the Chinese Chamber, and of course, our United States Postal Service, who has been the wondrous organization that has allowed us to celebrate our culture and our heritage through this extraordinarily designed stamps that honor our culture, honor the Lunar New Year, not just for Chinese, but Korean, Vietnamese, and Filipino, all the cultures that celebrate our Lunar New Year. I also want to welcome our newest member of our Board of Supervisors, our Supervisor Julie Christensen, who represents District 3. And I know she shares the same fascination as Anita and I and others here of the just expected design again that Mr. Mock and several other artists have put together to allow us to kind of view the latest designs for these wonderful stamps. I want to, again, thank and congratulate our United States Postal Service. I know that these are times in which they also ask for the public's assistance and help because it's a great organization, but they also do the things that we are very proud of. I want to also congratulate Raj because she now has a new national boss, the first female U.S. Postal Master in the entire country's history. And that's important to Supervisor Julie Christensen. It's important to Anita, who is the mother of 2 daughters. Important to me as the father of 3 women. It's also important to London Breed, who I know she's not here, but she's, of course, our first female Afro-American board president of the supervisors. This is, of course, the Year of the Ram, and it means artistry. It means a little shyness, which I can associate with, and it certainly means a lot of wisdom and respect. And I think that these traits will be with us throughout the celebration. We just kicked off with Supervisor Christensen, the Stockton Street merchants and the widening of the sidewalks and displaying and selling of all the New Year's items that the families that want to come see. I just got notified that across the street there's over 100 people that are going through citizenship classes as we speak, and they want so much to be part of our society. And I can't wait when I hopefully see them raise their right hand and swear to be the citizens of the United States. That is so incredible for our city college to be hosting those training classes. All of this happening because we've all shared the story of immigrants in our community, and certainly the OCA, working with our U.S. Postal Service, have recognized all these wondrous things that happened when immigrants arrived in this country, and it has that story for decades, if not generations, here in San Francisco. I'm extremely proud of that history, but I also want to celebrate it well beyond the Asian communities and into all of the other communities, our Latino brothers and sisters, our Afro-American brothers and sisters, our gay and lesbian brothers and sisters can all be part of this wonderful celebration. And you'll literally see that diversity in the largest evening parade that has in the entire country when we look forward to the weeks on end. But in between, you've got cultural fairs, You've got community fairs, we have pageants, we have wonderful celebrations, and in between all of those, all the families will have their kids come back from wherever they are attending college. They'll reunite as families to share in this celebration in all of their neighborhoods across the city and across the region. And everybody will find an excuse to come into San Francisco. And if anything, to make sure that they get this forever stamp that's about to be released. So it's my pleasure to welcome everyone here on this occasion of unveiling this stamp. Buy as many as you can in the celebration, but at the same time, recognize that it's part of our history. That's part of the history of the United States, not just of Asian Americans. This is part of United States history, and that's why we're so proud of it. So thank you again for joining us. Gong hei fa choi. Sunday Phi Law. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so much. And I didn't even pay him to talk about buying all the stamps. So thank you very much. We really appreciate that. Thank you, Mayor Lee. Before I introduce our dedicating official, I would like to mention we have a few honored guests here with us today. Not that all of you aren't honored guests. You know, a lot of special faces in this room, but we have some honored guests I would like to introduce. I'd like to introduce Cam Mack. Cam, can you please stand? Cam is the artist who created this beautiful new stamp that we are dedicating today. In addition, I would be remiss if I didn't actually thank the OCA for sponsoring Cam's trip to attend this wonderful event. So thank you all very much. I would like to introduce Rosemary Fernandez. She's the recently retired Vice President of Employee Human Resources of Management for the Postal Service, and her husband, Kim Fernandez. Please stand. Thank you. Thank you for coming today. I would like to also introduce San Francisco's First Lady, Anita Lee. Thank you. I guess I shouldn't be clapping near the microphone. I'd like to also introduce Commander Garrett Tom. Thank you. And also I'd like to recognize Sherman Tang, President of the Board of Directors of Chinese Cultural Foundation. Rhonda Gill, Assistant Director of Sales for Hilton, San Francisco. Thank you all so much for being here. And now, for a moment we've all been waiting for, the stamp dedication. I'm very pleased to welcome Sanghera, Postmaster for the City of San Francisco. In this role, Ms. Sanghera is responsible for managing 41 stations and branches and oversees a workforce of 1,500 employees and the delivery of mail to 395,000 homes and businesses throughout San Francisco. Ms. Sanghera began her postal career in 1989 as a letter carrier in San Jose. Since then, she has held positions in increasingly responsibility, including Manager of Service Operations in San Jose, Manager Operations Program Support, and we're very happy that she's here today. So please join me in welcoming Ms. Sanghera.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you, Debbie, for that very kind introduction. So on behalf of the Postal Service, I am delighted to be here as we dedicate the Year of the Ram commemorative Forever stamp in our latest stamp series. We are proud to hold this ceremony in beautiful San Francisco, a city with one of the largest American Asian communities in America. And I'd like to thank all of our honored guests, customers, community officials, and postal employees for joining us. For millions of people around the world, Lunar New Year is one of the most important holidays, and throughout today's program, you'll hear all about its traditions, calendar cycle, and legends. So I'd like to tell you a little about why the Postal Service regards it as a tremendous honor to celebrate the diversity of this great nation through postage stamps. For more than 120 years, Our commemorative stamp program has allowed us to issue stamps that highlight the cultures of people who came together from every corner of the world, reflecting the rich heritage of America. The Postal Service is proud of its contributions to the country and will continue to do everything it can to bind this great and diverse nation together. And as part of that mission, we will continue to recognize the events and cultures that make America unique in the history of the world. The Lunar New Year commemorative stamp program began in 1992 when the Postal Service issued the Year of the Rooster postage stamp and ran through 2007. In 2008, the Postal Service began the Celebrating Lunar New Year stamp series. Since then, we've helped celebrate the year of the rat, the ox, the tiger, the rabbit, the dragon, the snake, and last year, the year of the horse. Today, we'll dedicate the Year of the Ram commemorative Forever stamp. And in my opinion, it's one of the most beautifully designed, colorful, and festive ever issued by the Postal Service. I love the colors on the stamp. Working with the artist Cam Mack, art director Ethel Kessler's illustration depicts a wooden candy tray known as a chun hup, or tray of togetherness, filled with dried fruits, candies, and other treats to provide a sweet beginning to the new year. Starting today, this lovely illustration will be carried on letters and packages to millions of households and businesses throughout America. And don't forget, these are forever stamps, so they'll always be good even when postage stamps changes. And like Mayor Ed Lee said, you gotta buy a lot of them. We have them on sale today, they're out on sale right now, and in every retail facility in the city of San Francisco. As you see them, we hope that the Year of the Ram brings each of you good health, great joy, and boundless prosperity. So now, without further ado, I would like to ask Mayor Lee and our other honored guests, along with Cam, to come up as we join together in celebrating and dedicating the Year of the Stamp for the Ram. And in doing so, I want to wish each and every one of you a very happy new year. Gong Hai Fat Choi.
I'd like to introduce Claudine Cheng, past national president of the Organization of Chinese Americans. During her term as a national president of the Organization of Chinese Americans in the early 1990s, Ms. Cheng launched a national campaign to advocate for the issuance of the commemorative stamps honoring and celebrating the Chinese American community. Great job. Since then, her association with the annual release of the Lunar New Year stamp has continued. For all of her assistance and valuable expertise over the years for the Lunar New Year stamp series, the Postal Service is enormously grateful. Give her a hand. I can tell you, we couldn't have ever done it without you. Currently, Ms. Cheng is a president of the Asian Pacific American Heritage Foundation in San Francisco, an organization that is dedicated to promoting the diverse culture, heritage of the community and celebrating the Asian Pacific Heritage Month every year. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Claudine Cheng.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. This is my favorite time of the year. We started the new year to talk about the story of the postage stamp. Our Postmaster talked a little bit about this earlier, but since I see that we have a lot of our San Francisco school children with us, I really want to tell you the story again about how you get a stamp. It's not easy to get a stamp printed by the United States Postal Service. Every year there are a lot of applications, and you might have many ideas to put a subject matter on a stamp, and it's very competitive. However, we are very lucky in the Chinese Asian community. Sometimes one person can make a difference. We at OCA were very fortunate that one of our members, her name is Cheng, the member of the Atlanta, Georgia chapter. Cheng in the mid-80s have come up with the idea, and she saw all these subjects on the stamps and say, why don't we have something that to commemorate and honor the history and contributions of Chinese Americans in this country. So Chen had that idea, just one person, so you can do it too. So if you have an idea, just make it work. Bring people together. That's what OCA did back since 1990, 1991. We worked on the idea about and talked to the Postal Service, advocated through a national campaign to bring together a stamp. And since the first year, the year of the Rooster in 1993, it was very, very successful because actually this Lunar New Year stamp has been celebrated in many, many countries. So we are very delighted that the stamp project itself brought together a lot of people from around the country to support it. It has always been a community event that brings people together. And here in San Francisco, out of the last 20-some years, I think 80% of the first day issue ceremony was here in San Francisco, so we are very proud of that, and it's continued to be an event that brings community together, and we're very happy to see the children here with us today. I think in the future, I think the mayor just suggested that we should really get the school district children more involved and come to this ceremony to learn about our history. I understand that some of the students today actually were traveling from Beijing here, from China, in addition to those that are from San Francisco. So that's great. Talking about the stamp being a vehicle of communication, the Postmaster talked about how we will be using the stamp to send our New Year greetings throughout the country. I think the stamp continues to be also that effective vehicle to continue promotion of the awareness of this very special part of our culture, our cultural heritage of celebrating Lunar New Year. So we look forward to many more years of having this stamp. Thank you. So talking about bringing communities together, so actually when I was just coming to this event today, I saw many people that have been coming to this event since 1992. I met this nice couple from Sunnyvale, California that have been coming here. I saw our friend Walter Wong that was just probably standing in line buying stamps. There are many people that have been following the stamps every year, and every year we have this ceremony only because we have organizations that have supported this event. First, I'd like to thank the Chinese Consolidated Benevolent Association. 多謝我哋中華會館，佢哋好多年咧，1992年咧已經開始支持呢個紀念郵票嘅。So I would like to at this time invite the presiding president of the Chinese Consolidated Benevolent Association, President Sung-Ming Ma, to come give his greeting. 所以而家係請中華會館馬仲明總統咧嚟自呢個新年賀詞。
今日好高興我代表駐美中華總會館嚟呢度參加一年一度嘅呢個12生肖嘅今年係明年好快脆啦，20年啦嘅呢個首發典禮呢個活動咧。喺新聞市已經舉行咗好多年㗎啦，我都知道，好有意義，因為12生肖喺我哋中國嘅文化藝術領域入邊係一個好重要嘅一個方面。12個生肖，每一個生肖背後都有一個好美麗嘅故事嘅。唔知大家知唔知？或者有好多都知。即係我哋中國人選擇呢12個生肖，定咗落嚟嚟紀念佢，到後來出郵票。喺中國一樣係咁，有12生肖嘅活動，喺呢度又係。 所以我覺得我好高興即係喺呢度同大家喺呢個日子見面。今日係我哋羊年即刻要到嘅羊年嘅12生肖嘅呢個第一日發行嘅正式發行嘅呢個郵票嘅呢個紀念日首份日，好值得紀念。而且呢，亦通過呢個活動可以睇到我哋中美文化交流，中美文化不斷互相交流即係我亦好睇到我哋李市長李孟賢市長真係同我哋新聞市，特別係對我哋華人社區做咗好多好事，我哋都睇到佢好重視發展呢個中美文化嘅交流我哋嘅市長做咗幾年市長，大家都睇到嘅不管喺經濟上、文化上、科技上以及商業上各個方面社會治安方面都做咗大量嘅工作嘅成績肺炎成績就有目共睹㗎啦，唔需要我喺呢度講我哋預祝我哋嘅市長繼續將來還係市長呢個係我心裏嘅話咁好嘅市長好啦，咁我呢就講住咁多啦，我多謝大家預祝大家喺羊年洋洋得意，喜氣洋洋嘅洋字做好多文章都得，多謝。
Thank you, President Ma. I see that our District 3 Captain David Lassaz has joined us. Thank you for being here. And we have a number of appointed commissioners also today. Commissioner Greg Chu, Commissioner Mary Zhang, Commissioner Julie Su. I'm sure I missed a few, but Commissioner Irene E. Riley, of course. Thank you. Talking about organizations, have been supporting this organization since 1990, actually, when we first put out the campaign, start the campaign to advocate for the stamps. The Chinese Chamber of Commerce have always been there, and since then, many of the members have been at the postage stamp, have been part of the San Francisco Lunar New Year celebration. They have a booth at the Flower Fair, which is coming up. We want to thank the Chinese Chamber a lot for the ongoing support, and with us today is Eddir, the president of the presiding board. Eddir, please.
Yeah. 各位大家好 Honorable Mayor Eddir, Postmaster, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Chinese Chamber of Commerce, I wish everyone have a happy New Year and Gong Hei Fa Cai. I can't imagine a better way to usher in the ramp than this beautiful stamp. The designer did a wonderful job commemorating the year of the ramp. The ramp is said to be represent creativity and perseverance. The ramp's creativity definitely shines through in this stamp. May the ramp bring many new opportunities for success in the 2015. Every year, the chambers organize support the Chinese New Year Festival. This festival, including events such as coming week, we have the Flower Market, Miss Chinatown USA pageants, Coronation Ball, and end with the largest Chinese New Year parade in the U.S. Please come and celebrate the ramp. I wish everyone have a happy and healthy New Year. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And I would like to introduce my very good friend, Ken Lee. Kenny flew all the way out here from Atlanta, Georgia to join us, and he just arrived yesterday. Ken was, although he was living on the East Coast, was actually born and raised in San Francisco and very much a San Franciscan. Ken has spent many years with the National Organization of Chinese Americans, served in many, many capacities as a vice president, and then as our national president, and now, as I understand on your program book, program, he said that he's the acting CEO. Actually, he was just confirmed, I was informed, so he is the Chief Executive Officer of our great organization. Kenny?
Thank you, Claudine. I appreciate it. I love coming out here because this actually is my hometown. I was born and raised out here years ago. Won't tell you how many, but years ago. And what's nice about it is that, Claudine mentioned that Cheng, who was the person who came up with the idea, was actually one of the founding members of the Georgia chapter of OCA. And I was actually out there with the Georgia chapter for many years, still am a member of the Georgia chapter. And they have a vibrant chapter out there, and it's been exciting to be there, and I've met her numerous times. And she's very proud of the fact that she was one of the ones that came up with the idea of the postal stamp, because it has actually spread our wings out a little further. We went through one first cycle already of 12 animals from 1992 to 2004. Then with Claudine's help and encouragement with the Postal Service, was able to get the cycle started again with the Year of the Rat, which is the first year. So it kind of fits very, very well. We're in the 8th year right now, which I think some of you heard, and I think that's great. So being a current CEO of OCA, we're an Asian advocacy organization. We have 100 chapters and affiliates across the country, and all of our chapters are very proud of this stamp. We really feel good about it because it represents the community tremendously, because you can recognize it. And I think, and I'll make this statement, I'll take the liberty of making this statement, but I think it's also a very, very profitable stamp for the post office, because there are many collectors of this stamp. This is one of the stamps that is probably one of the higher collected stamps that are out there. And I know for myself, I have quite a few of the stamps going back years and years, and I think that if you're a collector, that just means a little more profit for the post office. Did I say it right? Okay. And so, being that it's also a forever stamp, if you ever buy the stamp and you have a need to use it, you can use it at any given time in the future. So that's another plus for the post office. And I just think that it's a excellent way to recognize the community. I think Claudine mentioned it's used worldwide, and people collect it worldwide, and I think it's a tremendous stamp. So Cam, we thank you for coming out again. Cam's a great artist to support this, so let's give him one more round of applause, please. So little did you know, and some people out here in California don't really realize that there's weather in other parts of the country, but it took him quite a bit to get out here. He actually had to take 3 legs of his flight because he says, I gotta make it out there for this presentation. So Southwest Airlines actually helped him out, and they flew him down to, let me get this right, Nashville first, then from Nashville to Las Vegas, then Las Vegas to San Francisco. So you had to make 3 legs in order to make it out here. So I give him a lot of credit for making it out here. 12 hours, I think you told me. So long time to get out here. So thank you very much. So with that, I just want to let you know that I'm very proud to represent OCA up here, and I know Claudine's going to step to my left very quickly. She only gave me a minute, and I think I took 2 already, but that's okay. I'm going to steal an extra minute here. But OCA is going to have their national convention here in San Francisco in July 4th weekend. So please come out and celebrate with us. It's going to be a great convention. We're celebrating patriotism. We're celebrating the political side of things. We've asked Mayor Lee to be part of our speaker panels as well, and our keynote speaker, I think, on that Saturday night, so we'll see. You may not have gotten that letter yet, but it's in the cycle coming to you. But anyway, it just celebrates the number of Asians that have been elected to prominent positions out here, and I think it's a great way for us to celebrate that year, to recognize that. And of course, we have the great political, election, president election in 2016, so we're getting prepped for that, because one of the things we work on is also in the area of making sure that our community is represented when it comes to politics by electing and going out and registering to vote and taking your right to vote as those citizens are learning their citizenship. That's what the power of America is, so I think that's very powerful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ken. As Mayor Lee mentioned, Lunar New Year was celebrated by many, many ethnic groups within the Asian Pacific community, Vietnam, Korea, many others. I'd like to also recognize Hagen Choi, the chairperson of our Seoul Sister City, for being here. Thank you.
Well, thank you all so much. And we just had somebody join us, and let's see, it's somebody in the room with a tiara on. Let me see. She's beautiful. I'd like to recognize Tiffany Ming. She is Miss Sing Tao. Thank you for joining us. I love your tiara. It's beautiful. I'd like to thank each of the organizations, Claudine, Cheng, for all the support over the years. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's stamp ceremony. Before we adjourn, I would like to once again thank the many community organizations throughout this great city, the support of the annual Lunar New Year stamp events. I especially want to thank 3 organizations that have been represented at today's event: the Chinese Chamber of Commerce, the Chinese Consolidated Benevolent Society, and the OCA. Thank you all very much. We can't do it without you. These organizations have participated every year annually with the Lunar New Year stamp ceremony since 1993, when the Postal Service unveiled its very first Lunar New Year stamp for the Year of the Rooster right here in San Francisco. In 1992 is when they actually started, but 1993 was the first unveiling. I would also like to thank the Lion Dancers, me, and the San Francisco Police Department Color Guard for all their support over the years, as they've been partners in celebrating the Lunar New Year from the very beginning. I would also like to thank, I'm looking for my notes, we have the sponsorship for the dancers. Claudine, the sponsorship for the dancers, I'm so sorry. Thank you. I would like to thank the Chinese Consolidated Benevolent Society for sponsoring the dancers here, the Lion Dancers. On a housekeeping note, I want to let everyone know, in approximately 15 minutes after today's ceremony concludes, you can have your programs autographed today by the participants and the illustrator, Cam Mack, right here over to the left. This is our autographing area. You can also go to our lobby, and I strongly suggest, as Mr. Lee said, please purchase your items outside, and you can get the signatures of the people on the stage right here and some of our honored guests. You've been a wonderful audience. On behalf of the United States Postal Service, I would like to thank all of you for attending the program. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much.